Hey, welcome back. Egghead News Podcast, Daily Hot Topics. That's right. How are we doing? It's still July. We got one more day in July. I'm giving the time coordinates so they can track us from the satellite. With me, as always, over in the left corner, Mr. Pablo. Say it twice, Solano.
Yo, what's going
Pete.
on? What's going on?
Ding, 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 ding. And no, that sounds like a casino machine. All right. Hot Topics. Brooklyn-bred Freddie Mahoney. He's getting a 5-minute caffeine break. But here we are back. Hot Topic. Blade. Marvel Studios. Hot Topic. Who will direct this movie? As we know, Marvel seems to be following a pattern.
This Hot Topic started with Jordan Peele, right? That's how it started. All this talk about who's going to direct.
Basically, it started with Jordan Peele. Only on the presumption, ladies and gentlemen, if you didn't know, now you know. Marvel Studios has followed a type of, what's the word I'm looking for? Program, system, computer chip, whatever you want to call it, of having a diversity campaign. I like the way I said that, diversity campaign. That's exactly what it is. A diversity campaign involving their films as of a certain date. And that date was 2016, 17. I think they went out their way. After that whole big thing blew up with the Oscars on how many. Well, anyway, that's another story. But anyway, let's get back to it. Blade. Now that we know who our future Blade is going to be, more than likely, I'm not saying it's carved in stone. Nobody went up to the mountain and got the tablets. I'm saying more than likely, Marvel Studios will follow their diversity campaign, and we will probably have a black director directing this new interpretation of age-old Marvel horror classic character. The only thing missing now is Hannibal King, Werewolf by Night, and Tomb of Dracula, and Morbius. But that's another story. Morbius belongs over to Sony. There's only a hand-picked few directors left for Marvel to tap into or collaborate with to bring Blade back to life. Top 2 directors that I know, and personally I know, who are actually or might be free right now for 2022. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. These things are scheduled years before because other people take other projects. You just can't sit back and wait. Anyway, one is my favorite. I am biased. One is my favorite, Mr. That's Right, Say It. What is the name of that? Anyway, we'll catch up to it. He made 2 movies, but one of my favorite, and I always told the man that what he did with King Arthur back in the day, I always thought it was great. It was campy. It was true to life. That movie never got enough credit. I know some people hated it, but tell me why. But anyway, Mr. Antoine Fuqua. Mr. Antoine Fuqua is the most famous name that's available. And remember what I said, P, available to direct this Blade movie. And I think he can do this Blade movie. And you also have Mr. F. Gary Gray. You got to be careful saying his name. It's almost up there in trivia questions. Say his name real fast. I'll see if you don't get messed up. And then another name that popped up, but I don't know if he... I don't know if he would want to do it, and getting him to do it out of curiosity, that wouldn't be a good fit for Marvel. That's why. But yes, that's right, Mr. Tyler Perry. Wow, he said Tyler Perry in a superhero movie. Yeah, but he's also a director. But see, that's the reaction. But that's not what we're talking about, ladies and gentlemen. Let's stick to the topic. The
topic know what?
Was, what black director?
You know what? I hope people understand why he's doing it. In my opinion, I think Jordan Peele, think about it. He said, I want to start doing movies. He did a movie, it was a smashing success. He did that.
Yeah, he has a little series.
He wasn't directing nobody's movies. He was directing his movie. To go to now direct a movie for someone, taking not orders, but taking suggestions from someone is not, I think is something that I don't think he is going to be used to now that he's in a position to do his own joints and get funded easily to make basically movies on his own the way he wants to do it.
Well, basically from what I'm hearing you say, for the layman out there, he just, my boy D, hey D, he just doesn't want to take a check.
Nah.
He's not interested in that right now. He's on the creative side, getting paid making checks. Him and Monkey Paw. I like that name, Monkey Paw. But yeah, you're right. When you work for Marvel, and I'm not knocking anybody that work for Marvel, ask the Russo brothers. They probably got a lot of collaborative control more than anyone else. Marvel and Disney are not monsters, but you can't come in here and now say that Spider-Man is a blank, blank, blank kid from Nicaragua who spins. No, you just can't come in and change stuff. You will have, as you said, you will have directives that have to be met. You just can't come in. My God, I sound like I'm giving another Zack Snyder speech. You just can't come in and do whatever you want. Yeah. That ain't happening here.
Ask Ed Norton. Ask Terrence Howard. Ask whoever else. Edgar Wright. Ask whoever else decided.
Yeah, you right. Edgar Wright. That's right.
They're gone.
That's right.
Ed Norton. Did I say Ed Norton?
They said Ed Norton, but you know what? The last one, you absolutely right. Edgar Wright. Not even fight back. Not only did Edgar take 5 years to get there, 5 years, ladies and gentlemen, and then when he got there, no, are you crazy? These people are, as Freddie always likes saying, Trey, you're right. They are a machine. By the time you got ready to dip your toe in the water, man, this thing's a machine, P. Yeah. You know that. Listen. Hey, take that to the little indies, man. This ain't no indie. This is a monster, man. You can't come in here telling me what you ain't doing and what you're going to do and shit. No, you know what? Like you said,
let me ask you a question,
it's been nice.
Trey.
Take this check.
Yeah, let me ask you a question. Let's say they were doing, what's a movie with like, let's say they were doing a movie about the Ewoks, right?
About the who? The Ewoks?
Yeah, Ewoks.
Oh, God.
Who do you get to direct that film? Peter Dinklage?
Oh, that's funny.
I'm just saying.
Wow.
I
get the gist of what you're saying.
The diversity word is being thrown around like as if they're being diverse. I mean, diversity to me is
diversity campaign. Diversity campaign.
It's like me getting African American to direct a Superman. Now that's diverse. That's different. But you're hiring female superhero-led films, and you're hiring
and they want a
women.
Female director. Yeah. You know what? But let me tell you. But the
and I'm not saying there's something
philosophy
wrong with it.
behind it. Yeah, the philosophy behind it was, and not even so much about a female director can't direct Captain Marvel, or I need a black guy to direct a black superhero. I need a dude to play a dude to play a dude.
Yeah,
no.
Yeah.
The Disney and Marvel said, we want to do this because more than likely, and I guess the film industry could look at itself and look at what's going on. We want to do this and use this to help diversify the industry, because if we don't, it'll be the same status quo, and they would get a Frenchman who developed movies in French. And listen, I love European movies. I'm not saying there isn't a Frenchman or an Israeli director who probably couldn't come in, but what they're saying is the people who will automatically get overlooked are the people who they're trying to use to diversify. I mean, the woman that's doing the Eternals, she's freaking awesome. And more than likely, she would have never been on anybody's top 10 sci-fi movie blockbuster.
But see, that's finally some, this is what I'm saying. Hire the best person, no matter if he's white, black, female, or small.
Oh no, of course.
Of course. Don't just put me to direct the film just because, my Dominican brothers.
Just because I'm black.
Don't put me to direct a Hispanic film.
Just because I'm black.
Just because I'm Spanish.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
That's what it looks like to me. But with the Eternals hiring, that's sort of like, okay, that's they hired the best one. They didn't hire her because she's a woman that can direct. They hired her because she's a director. Because she's a great
director.
director.
That woman is absolutely great director.
That's all it has to be. Hire the best person. That's it. Go ahead.
I understand what you're saying. But they're saying what we're trying to do is, if the public didn't know, the scales are so drastically tipped in the other favor that what we're doing, it's not even nothing to talk about. Yeah. We can't even begin to scratch the surface of how many people of diversity are overlooked every day, every year for projects they probably could have done. I mean, I get, when you say it like that, it's almost like find the white rock in the sand on the beach. You'll find a white rock, but it's in that sand that's like a million and you know what? When they do that, okay, I completely understand. But like you said, now the onus is that person has to make a great movie. I mean, the two directors, it was a man and a woman for Captain Marvel. They never made a movie that made over $2 to $5 million. They now have $1 billion blockbuster under their belt. But the first thing you and I will say is they made a Marvel movie. Yeah. It's getting to the point they can get the Milkman to make a Marvel movie. It makes $1 billion, but then you say, well, the Milkman goes to another studio. Well, I should direct that movie. Why? Because I made more. Yeah, no. Your name's on the. It's shit. The reverse of that is people might disrespect the fact that you made that Marvel movie. It was $1 billion because more than likely, I don't know, P, you think the attitude is no matter what, the movie's going to be successful. They can get the Milkman to direct the movie. That's not always true, ladies and gentlemen. If that's the premise, or if that's the attitude that people think is going to come out, that anybody can make their movies, I wouldn't do that. Now, what happened with Zack Snyder was the end result of this is what can happen when someone thinks, let me rewrite the Bible. And that's exactly what Zach tried to do. Let me rewrite it into what? My own interpretation. And then when people reject it, oh, you don't know what you're talking about. What? Yes, we do know what we're talking about. That's not Batman. Yeah. And that's definitely not Superman. Yeah. Oh, well, this is the way I see it. But that sounds like a pet project for you to do.
Oh, we talking about
not Zach for again? You to throw upon the... Well, let's get back to talking about Blade.
Yeah.
Antoine's see what Antoine can do anything. Antoine can do anything. Yeah, you can give him anything. You can give him
but don't give him just because he's black. Don't give him the role just because he's black.
If Antoine don't want to, okay. But if Antoine don't want to do it because he know he has Marvel over his shoulder, on his back, and I don't know. Let me ask you this. I don't know. It's up to a person. It's up to each. But Antoine's sure. In a heartbeat, he does it. It wins.
Would you say Antoine Fuqua comes from the same sort of place that from the same case that I made with Jordan Peele as to I made these movies. These were my choices.
Well, you can say but see, Antoine could do the same thing. But Antoine also. But then anything I say now that he did in the past, you could say, well, maybe in the past he was just taking a check. True. But then what's the fine line? Is he taking a check, or is he doing it because he likes to do the project, or is he doing it and he knows it's going to be easy because Marvel just... But I'm sure that if it was Antoine Fuqua, he would work with Ali, and they would develop based on that story, because like I said, Antoine went from King Arthur to what is this? What is the name of the title of the TV show that him and Denzel turned into movies? That the second one was just financially. What is? I want to say the execution. No, not and not expendable. What is the name of the series that they did? That used to be on Channel 2. He was fine. I know the name of the thing, but anyway. He can do it. Now, let's talk to
wait. So Gary. So King Arthur, he did who did he did King Arthur. He did
Shooter. Antoine did King Arthur too.
He did Olympus Has Fallen. He did The Equalizer. Also, the Equalizer 2. American
there it is. That's right, the Equalizer. But we're talking about the range. That's why I say Antoine can do anything.
there's a few sprinkled films that I'm pretty like. The Equalizer was pretty good. Training Day obviously
I'm not.
Was great. I'm just calling out some of the movies.
I'm not talking about good. I'm talking about the diversity of types of film. So can he do a horror? Yeah. Yeah. Why? Because Blade is more Blade is more Matrix and fighting, and he could do that. He could do that, but that's not a problem.
Yeah, but I'm looking at his filmography here, and Tears of the Sun was dope. Tears of the Sun was dope. I liked it. Tears of the Sun.
Well, my peoples will always say Training Day is the greatest movie that Denzel Washington ever made, and I say no. Everybody knows Denzel's greatest movie was Malcolm X. Yeah. So anyway, now the other person out there, his
best movie was Hurricane.
You talking about The Rock?
No.
You talking about you talking about Nah, it was X. It was Malcolm X. Man.
Hurricane.
That thing was life changing, man. Hurricane was great. Listen, Hurricane was great. But anyway, we getting into geopolitics. But anyway, let me say, and I'm gonna say it out of respect. Spike Lee is free. Would Mobile hire Spike to do it?
Oh, hell no.
Probably not.
Hell no.
Probably not. No. But I said it. We said on Eggheads. We mentioned it, sir. We mentioned the icon. That's right. Spike Lee. Can Spike Lee make a vampire movie? I never. Oh, he did make Old Boy with Brolin, but two Old Boys came out. Two of them came out at the same time, and they basically killed each other off.
Listen,
don't you hate that? Two studios make the same movie and it kills each other off. Like, what was the point?
Blade has to be successful on day one because of the pressures of not having Wesley Snipes and however that thing went down. They can't afford to have someone like Spike Lee come in there who's probably never done something like this. I don't think he can do it, and I don't want to experiment with it. This has to be dope from jump.
You don't think Spike can do horror?
I just don't think we should take the chance with Spike Lee.
Oh, no. Honestly, and like I said, I just mentioned it so that Eggheads, we give our kudos to the icons, to the legends. Do I really think they're going to hire Spike? No. Because Spike comes with a lot of baggage, and like you said, we both know, Disney and Marvel, they don't do baggage. Yeah. If you got a truck, when you come for a meeting and there's a truck behind you that says Diva or Prima Donna, you might as well get back in the car. I just hope, and listen, I just don't think Marvel should say, hey, let's look at the team, which was, and I know the brothers that did it, and I know the showrunner. Let's look at the guys that did Luke Cage, and maybe we elevate them. Nope. Listen, you never know what Ali might say. Oh, give my Luke Cage brothers a lift.
Ali made Cottonmouth. Nobody else did that. Ali made that.
I gotta look at the overall film. There was a lot of aspects of Harlem and Luke Cage season 1 that I did like. And look, the both of us. That's right. To be known, we're biased. We're both from Harlem. There was things of it that I liked. At the end of season 1, when it got to the brother and the whatever it is, I forget his name. He was it got crazy.
But this is what I'm saying.
If you watch the first 6 episodes, Luke Cage was great.
Yeah, but listen to this.
It really was.
Listen to this. I'm pretty sure the director or directors, whoever directed the episodes for Luke Cage.
They had different directors. Yeah, but that's TV though. Yeah. TV's different. Yeah.
Yes, but the performance that Ali gave was his performance. Nobody really sort of told him, I think, what to do. I think it was his performance.
No, he was doing.
Because how come the Luke Cage, the lead, wasn't as great? Yeah. Or some of the other characters like Luke Cage's brother wasn't that great. You know what I'm saying? It had nothing to do with the actors or the directors of those actors. It was the actors' performances. That's just what their range was. And Ali's is that the writers? Was that the writers? No, I think if it's the writers, why was Ali dope then? Why was he?
Why
just
was
dope?
his character dope
and everybody else was like, dope. Oh, whatever. Nah, it was.
Just for that, I think I'm gonna watch season 1 Luke Cage tonight. Just for that, I'm gonna watch season 1 Luke Cage.
It's his performance. It's his performance. Nobody directed him that way. I mean, he knew what he wanted to do, and he knew it was dope. And they're like, yeah, just let him do what he got to do. Everybody else.
I mean, you bringing back memories. You bringing back memories. I was hooked to watch it. I was hooked.
Ali killed it. I
was hooked.
Ali killed it.
I don't know what Blade we're getting. Will Blade be tied into Doctor Strange and the Scarlet Witch's horror verse that we're doing in MCU? I think this is great. I think this changes the format. I think this will help us get away from the last 10 years. Listen, we got to let it go. This is helping us letting it go because now we got horror. And like you said in the earlier podcast, it has to be rated R. You can't be pulling punches, doing PG-13 stuff.
But let me say this, man.
Like what I said, vampires only biting people in the forearm.
I honestly think they're going to get the right director. And when I say that, I'm not necessarily saying that it's going to be a black director. I think they're going to look for the right director for this. It doesn't have to be a black dude. I'm sorry. I'm just saying get the right person. Don't get the right person just because he's black and can direct. Get him because he can direct. That's it. That's all I'm saying. This hiring of particular people because of who the movie's about.
The diversity campaign. But as the argument was said before, you go back to the old way, these people don't even get looked at. So, Disney is saying these people don't even get looked at.
The point is to compete. You're competing.
On whose part? Those directors?
Those directors have to compete for the role. They have to sell their vision. If their vision doesn't work for them.
I understand what you're saying, but some of those directors are great, but the other studios will not. I mean, this is not. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, this is not day one of America. People who were great got passed over.
Yeah.
For reasons other than the fact that they were good directors.
Yeah.
And what Disney's trying to do with their quote, I get it, the diversity campaign of not even just directors, putting in characters. We might get our first transgender character. And the thing about that brings up the ugly word pandering. I never thought that the Marvel superhero universe was not a complete reflection of the regular world that we live in, ladies and gentlemen. So for the fact that you have to amplify the fact that people of certain natures also are in the movie universe, and if you go out your way to show it, is usually done because people thought that they weren't. No, I'm not sure there's anyone who sat in that seat in that movie theater thought that the world that Tony Starks and Steve Rogers lived in wasn't a complete reflection of ours, that they didn't have people of different persuasions, gender. I don't think we ever thought that, but the fact that you want to show it, okay. You got the Indian cab driver. I never thought you would have an Indian cab driver in a New York scene. You understand what I'm saying? I never thought you would. But if you really feel you have to show it because you think that people might think that it's not like the world we live in. Okay.
I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying with that. But, I mean, again, speaking of the word pandering, and I don't think we've spoken about this, and I don't want to spend too much time. But I don't think I've ever spoken about this on the show. It's always been in passing, having a conversation with you or with anyone else that's willing to listen to me. Because not a lot of people talk about this stuff. Anyway, Endgame, that scene where all the female superheroes got together and started fighting, that was bad. I looked at it. Pandering. You telling me out of all the chaos, all of y'all end up together? Come on, man. Come on, man. And I read it in the comments.
They call it fan service.
Yeah.
They call it fan service.
No. The most impressive scene for me.
Girls today in this generation can say they've seen a superhero movie and they saw a bunch of superhero girls in a splash page format. And our generation...
I admired more.
My daughter now, yeah.
I admired more the Dora Milaje because they did that. They did that first.
Oh yeah, that was perfect because it was part of the culture.
Yes.
It wasn't forced.
Yes. That scene in Endgame where all the female superheroes were fighting together, they so happened to be in the same spot fighting together, was pandering.
In a war. In a war zone.
Pandering. Fight me all you want. Say negative things in the comments all you want. But it was pandering. Admit it. And for those of you who loved it, fantastic. Fantastic. But the best group of females together on screen was in Black Panther. Anyway, let's move on.
So we get back to Blade. That was the hot topic, and the hot topic was who will Marvel get to direct the upcoming Blade movie. We didn't even talk about whether or not there's rumors Blade will be in the Fantastic Four. Blade will be an Avenger. Let's see how this all pans out. There's also rumors now that now Marvel's in a position to do Midnight Suns. Maybe they are. Maybe they're not. I mean, I don't. It's too early to speculate.
Did you hear
but
there
it's
was
good
a
to
rumor
see
that they're working on an Incredible Hulk series on Disney Plus? Did you hear that?
Oh no, I didn't hear that one. Wait, Disney Plus a series? Can they do that by that contract? No, it's not a film, so they could. Yeah, but if it costs $5 million a minute to show the Hulk, that's going to be the most expensive.
Listen, they're spending tens of millions of dollars on Star Wars: The Mandalorian. I'm pretty sure they'll do it for anything. They can spend $100 million on a show if they want to. If they wanted to.
Oh, no, I'm sure they got the money.
Okay, so, I mean, the money is not an issue then. Because we're not going to show the Hulk.
I'm looking.
They would go back to how the Incredible Hulk was.
Yeah, that's another thing.
Little by little.
You know what? I didn't hear that rumor. But if that's what's happening, let's see. You know, I'll come to you. Give me some updates, so I'll look for it myself. I never heard that.
But the rumor was to introduce Jennifer Walters.
Okay, to get She-Hulk. Well, we said that on previous shows. There's a whole slew of characters that we need. But listen, and here you go with the pandering. Here we go with the pandering thing. If I got to do all this just to get She-Hulk into the public sphere.
I don't mind She-Hulk though.
I love She-Hulk. Are you kidding me? She-Hulk was one of the Fantastic Four on John Byrne's run. She-Hulk is incredible. But let's get back to rumors. If the rumor about Eva Green being in the upcoming Doctor Strange 2 movie with Elizabeth Olsen as Wanda the Scarlet Witch. Wanda, and now, hey, P, we might actually hear her last name, the Maximoff twins. Wanda Maximoff, which means she's the son of Magneto. That's another story. Yeah. Eva Green playing Nightmare.
But that is the story,
ladies and gentlemen.
There. If we hear that word, if we hear that last
name, we hear Maximoff, forget it.
We're gonna go crazy. You're gonna hear the oohs and ahs. You're gonna hear the oohs and ahs.
Yeah, oh yeah, the little seeds being planted. The little mutant seeds being planted. But two things. Two things I would. Eva Green playing Nightmare is not a problem, and I don't think it's so much pandering. It's just gender switching, like what they did in the Eternals. Only because, people, if you know the character Nightmare from the comic books, he's a goofball. Yeah. Honestly, and putting Eva Green playing the evil, wickedest, baddest witch in the world and giving her ultimate power like that of Nightmare, which comes off of people's psychic energy. Mm-hmm. Well, basically from what Pablo even projected, that Nightmare will be the despair and angst of all the consciousness of the universe dipped into with the snaps. Remember, everybody kept snapping that glove, snapping that gauntlet, and now you created this entity which basically you can't kill because you can never stop people from having despair and grief. And she's I guess, an immortal entity. But it also makes me wonder, wow, if Eva Green's going to be Nightmare, which is not a problem.
I don't mind that.
The gender switch is not a problem. I don't mind that at all because, like I said, Nightmare in the comic books is a goofball. But then, where's Umar?
But it's
where's
not to say
sister?
It's not to say that we're saying because he's a goofball, a woman is fine. Not to say that. Not to say that. I think what you're trying to say is that it doesn't matter who they pick for that character. That character wasn't really taken seriously in the comic books.
It's like if it was the Batman universe, they made Penguin a woman. Yeah. Then I would have a problem. Like, wait a minute, the Penguin's not like it's got to stop now. What are you doing?
I mean, in one of our shows, I think in episode 2 or 3 or 4, one of those, our early ones. But I got video footage of that. I'm gonna put that on Instagram in a few. But Freddie said he wouldn't mind seeing the Riddler as a female. I wouldn't mind that either. I think that would be a dope
that's
twist.
The same type of character Nightmare is. If they switch the gender, you really don't care because you never really thought about it. What's the Riddler's greatest storyline? Hush. At the end of the day, the Riddler found out that Bruce Wayne was Batman. Nobody helped him. Not Lex Luthor. Not no Superman. No,
it's brain over. It's brain.
Actually figured it out.
It's brain over brawn, and you know, and Riddler wasn't a fighter. He was always trying to outthink.
Oh no, he's not fighting.
So
Riddler's not fighting anybody.
For a twist, if it was a female, I would be like, oh snap, that was dope.
Yeah, making Nightmare or Riddler a female, nobody would say anything. I mean, it's not that he was a predominant male character. Let's say like the Penguin or the Joker, or even Egghead, Two-Face. All of the male. So if you said, let's make a Riddler, everybody go, why? And maybe it's in the back of our consciousness that we never really thought of him seriously, which is kind of sad, but we never thought of Riddler.
I love the Riddler. I love the Riddler.
I mean, but if he wasn't that guy, would I care? No. If they make, like Spider-Man, if they made the Vulture, Electro, Scorpion, if they made Kraven a woman, we'd have a problem.
Oh yeah, we'd have a problem.
Because Kraven's not a woman. That's not okay. I understand what you're doing, but something like that, or making Black Bolt from the Inhumans a woman, that's not okay. You know. But anyway,
I mean,
so that's the rumor that I heard.
Yeah. No, but that would be that would be fine. That would be fine. I mean, they're gonna make
Eva Green
playing
Nightmare. I got no problem.
Yeah,
Eva Green, but the only thing is, does she now appear to be the big bad wicked old witch? Yeah, kinda. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And the thing with Nightmare, like I said before, you'll never get rid of Nightmare because not even just humans on planet Earth, all creatures in the universe have despair and have nightmare. So she's basically immortal. You'll never get rid of her. It's just that what Doctor Strange has always done in the books is that he's kept Nightmare in that pocket dimension. He kept them away from our universe.
There's another rumor, and this rumor excites me, even though. It excites me, but it excites me, and that is of Galactus appearing in Phase 5 as the big baddie to replace Thanos. Listen,
I thought it was Dr. Doom. I saw the rumor pop up. The good boys over at
who knows, man? They have two
I don't know who the
big characters together. They'll have to find a way to have, the same way we had, multiple heroes, and then there was this one big baddie that was major, and that was Thanos. It could be two. It could be Galactus and Doom. Doom being the worst of them. Doom being the worst of them. Because Galactus, he do what he do. He's Debo. He come through. You know what I'm saying? Take what you got. It doesn't matter what you got.
See, now you're making me. Now you're gonna make me go back. Did Doctor Strange ban Dormammu from our reality or just our planet?
You're gonna
I think he said all the reality because then Thanos would have had to deal with Dormammu also, and that didn't happen. Yeah. So he must have banned Dormammu from our reality. Well, it's just also like the ancient one said, if you take that stone away that keeps certain things back, they would attack our reality. See that? Yeah. Anyway, go back. That's right. It was on sale for digital last night, boys and girls. Go back, study it. learning the rules of this game, which at the end of the movie, Captain America destroyed anyway. But we had these. There's supposed to be rules to this S. I said, yeah, there is. Yeah. But apparently, Steve Rogers went back, as you said, Mr. Solano, at many podcasts before, a selfish move made by Captain America. He just went and destroyed whatever timeline we thought we had. Yeah, he just messed it up. Like, wait a minute. Now, for me, I might get the invaders out of this. I don't know. I might get the invaders out of this.
Hopefully, I don't know.
I don't know where he did.
I don't know where they would fit this invader storyline. They would have to go back during that period. What movies occurred during that period? I don't know. I mean, there's some movies where, or some series like Loki, he appears in various places in time, which I still don't get. There's also WandaVision. They're talking about this is set in the 1950s or 60s, which still doesn't go back far enough for the invaders. Am I right?
No, WandaVision. But then who would be? I mean, WandaVision's got who is the villain? There was no. Well, we're not going to get who's the villain in the 50s. Mentallo. We're going to get the big. Maybe if they do something like the Quentin Tarantino version of the horror movies from the 50s.
I'm very interested.
Yeah, it's interesting now.
WandaVision has to offer. I know there is some talk of Falcon. The U.S. not wanting Falcon to be Captain America. There's some.
Oh, that's great. That's just awesome.
I mean,
that's awesome.
That's I mean, awesome. That plays really well.
Especially because what's happening in the real world. Especially because what's happening right now. Because of what's happening right now, and some of the quotes and the tweets and things.
So that's going to be
people
interesting
of color.
That's going to be interesting.
Yeah. So once again, getting back to who is going to direct the upcoming Blade movie, I think we're just going to sit back like good little fans. And no one's talking about the fact we're not getting another superhero movie for another year. Mm-hmm. Next May.
We got to get
May. And I'm just talking about
Star Wars on the show because it's Star Wars season, man. It's almost Star Wars season.
Yeah, it is Star Wars season. Well, we're going to see him at New York Comic Con. And I already got the text. I already got a text from our good friend, Mr. Stephen Harris. Steve is going to be in Africa. He will not be joining New York Comic Con, and everybody else is making their plans because now New York Comic Con is only 8 weeks away. Yeah. Boy, this game goes fast, man. I think somebody got that time stone. This thing is going by so fast. Next, it's going to be Christmas, and we're going to be like, wasn't it just summer?
Yeah.
Damn. Was it? Yeah.
Time flies when you're working.
Yeah. All right. Egghead News Podcast, Daily Hot Topics. Blade, new director. Any shout-outs, P, before we leave? We sign this off?
Oh, shout-out always to the fans or our supporters, anyone who listens to our show. Hopefully they're sharing it with their friends. I got a few people to listen to it, man. They're like, yo, this could be like this sounds really good. And I'm like, hey, share it with your people.
You should have said really. Really? Anyway, of course, we appreciate everything. We're just being sarcastic. Yeah, we're just being sarcastic.
Share it with your peoples. Hit the notification bell. Subscribe. Comment, because we really like to read other people's comments. Oh,
I sure do.
Yeah, especially on IG, because some people come, like, they get at you. And, and I try to... When I respond, I try to. Yeah. I just want to have a conversation. This is not me telling you that you don't know anything. I'm just want to know what is your reasoning behind this statement.
Everybody has their opinion. Like me and our boy Darkman. Darkman's got this thing about Blade being British. Okay, I mean, to me, I look at things differently. What's the general point of that? If it's just a personal. I want to make sure he's British, Australian, French, Swedish. Okay, but is that like a main element? Me, I need the movie to be good. I wouldn't care if he was Czechoslovakian, but that's just me. Yeah. But when you go out your way to highlight, that's what we say with the comments. When people go out there, the way they highlight, in my opinion, I always let people know. That sounds like a personal, because it doesn't sound like it's really important to them character or it's not really important to the movie. But anyway, if you feel the guy has to wear red shoes in the movie, okay. Was the relevance of that? I don't know. But he made a point of make sure he wears red shoes.
We gotta talk about what's going on with DC. Apparently nothing right now, but there's some things going on with DC. We have to talk about it now.
They're sitting on Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman's promo stuff won't start till December. Wonder Woman, I don't even think it's coming to New York Comic Con. I mean, like I said, Warner Brothers. I guess the transition from AT&T. They gotta go. To me, you gotta go to New York Comic Con. You're basically almost to the point of being irrelevant. Like, what is going on over there? Yeah. The only thing you got going is
starting to get back to,
and
it's starting to get back to
the beginning.
It's starting to get back to it just being Batman.
Yeah.
I mean, although we got Wonder Woman coming out, we got Aquaman coming out.
Wonder Woman's done. Wonder Woman's sitting in the can.
At the end of the day, it is all about Batman.
They got to do something.
And I don't want it to be just like that. I don't want it to be just about Batman. I want
you're right, yo. It sounds like it's going back to the only thing you got going is Batman. And to Pete, just the fact that you got Superman out there, but you don't want to use him, but you're giving me Supergirl, and she's not set in the same universe. What are you doing?
I don't think is that WB doesn't want to use Superman. I think is that they don't know what to do with Superman. They don't know how to create the right. I don't know what they're looking to do. They don't know. They can't figure it out.
All the creators out there, start getting your notes. Start getting your notes and your scripts ready, and just start shooting it to Warner Brothers. Because obviously they don't know what to do.
Listen,
and they don't have no showrunner, or they don't have no Kevin Feige. They just don't have it. Send in what people. Hey, this looks like a good idea.
People can say what they want. They can argue to the cows come home, but nobody's ever gonna convince me that Superman 1977 was bested by Man of Steel.
Was what? Superman 77 was what?
That Superman 1977 was bested, meaning that Man of Steel was better than Superman 1977.
Oh, no. No. And I looked at Superman 1977 the other day, and there were some things, and the first, up to the point where he met Lois, and then it got campy and it was cheesy, and it was. But other than that, the sci-fi first 15 minutes is the best first 15 minutes. It was even better than Nightcrawler popping in and out the White House.
You thought
that first 15 minutes when they went to
but do you think that him and Superman and Lois Lane, the way they met was cheesy?
No, after that, with the two missiles, choose them. But I also blame that on the technology. How much could they do? They couldn't have Superman fight. There was no back. I mean, I get it. I get it. I get it. He didn't have a Doomsday. The Doomsday storyline at that point wasn't even written. I mean, I get it. But, wow, it just could have been something better. And when I look at it now.
Which one, Man of Steel?
No, not the Man of Steel. Forget Man of Steel. I'm talking about Superman 77. Mm-hmm. The first 15 minutes is classic. I mean, sorry. Oh, yeah. Let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. And remember, they didn't have the money. They didn't have the technology. But let me tell you something. You can go look at Superman 1977. The first 15 minutes on Krypton. You really thought, and just like you always say, it's location, location, location. Mm-hmm. I really thought I was on another planet.
Yeah, it was
hands down. I was with a different civilization.
Yes.
And now remember, at that point in time, we done seen Lost in Space. Star Wars was out already. I believed there really was a Krypton. That's how, when that dome opened up, you've never seen nothing like that. Yeah.
But
you've never seen nothing like that.
The only thing about 1977 that I didn't like was the flying around the world to go back in time. That was the one thing that I was like, whatever. Yeah. but other than that movie was perfect. I mean, like, come on, man.
Oh my
Superman,
God.
you're gonna tell me a female's not gonna fall? She fell head over heels when she saw that dude. If Wonder Woman wouldn't last 5 minutes on Broadway.
Man, please.
Because dudes will go crazy. Superman, that relationship, the way it was perfect. Superman was playing hard to get. He was charming her. He was charming her.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But in Man of Steel, he was like, hey, hi, I think I love you. It was stupid. It was whack.
You guys didn't even know each other.
It was whack.
And Lois was Lois is a go-getter. That part, she had that down, but she didn't have the other attributes of Lois Lane. It was almost like Lois Lane was like an asshole.
It was forced. It was a forced relationship.
Yeah, it was forced.
They didn't let that.
It was forced.
But I mean, anyway, I'm just saying, 1977 set the bar. And then Man of Steel, for a lot of people, it also set the bar. It's like, how do you replace this guy and then try to make something dope without fans coming after us? Zack messed up a lot of things.
In comparison to Shazam, who you can't get him to shut up. Superman don't talk, Shazam don't shut up. But that's Zach Levi. But that's Zachary Levi being himself. Superman, you can't get to talk. Shazam, you can't shut him up. Anyway, more topics to come. We can talk about this DC. Shout out once again to Brooklyn Bridge, Freddie Mahoney. He'll be back the next time we come down this side of the village. Last shout outs. Thank you, like you said, Pete, for subscribing, checking in, clocking in, giving the comments. The comments are funny. The comments are great. I love to hear other people's opinion. And then we made a promise. Me and Pablo will get back to it. A lot of people say we're not talking a lot about TV. We will get back to the TV stuff as we want to get away from San Diego Comic-Con. And we will start talking about, hey, Pete, we'll start talking about The Boys on Netflix. To me, which is not just another version of The Watchmen. That's all that is. Bad superheroes. Okay. Isn't this The Watchmen? No, it's called The Boys. Another DC Vertigo comic book, I think it is. But look, hey, Watchmen. But anyway, we'll get back to the shows that's on Netflix and Amazon, and that show's on Amazon. There's another show that's on Amazon. But we'll get back to the television stuff. I know a lot of people saying there's some great stuff on television that we're not talking about, but we'll get back to that. Like I said, we just want to get past San Diego Comic-Con. So, for Egghead News Podcast Daily, we're signing off, and as I always say, around here and down parts in that village, down by the lake, go to the movies.